Hello and welcome to How to XA. Today I'd like to take you on a drive around the IDF, which is PowerLink and NetLink for M4XA. You see here, these are called application cards, each one of these tabs, and the icons on them are the business objects you can go to. The drop down here on the main screen is for the card files. So as I click a different one, it will change the tabs I have on here. And we can create these cards and card files and set them as preferences for when we go in. Under Customize here, you can do cards and card files, and I can also set preferences. And under the preferences is where I can tell it what I want my initial card file and card to be when I open up this window. Also, if I'm doing exporting to the clipboard, I can also tell it how many characters I'm allowed to export at a time. It only goes up to 9 million something. So when I click on a business object, it opens up into what we call basically a list view of the business object. And generally, this is your query. You have your list of views here. Your subsets are here, which you can set them however you'd like. If you want to do sorts and say you want to set what they call the query, you can set your grid settings. They're called grid settings here. It's called the query, and it's made with the binoculars in PowerLink, and the binoculars are up here in PowerLink in the toolbar. So if I click the grid settings, it, for one, lets me turn on and off the filter row. I can do reset to default layout, which will change the view if, let's say, I drag the columns around. I want it to go back to the original view of how it should look. I can hit reset to default and it will reorder them. I can also from here, I can set my view, subset, and sort all at once. And I want to pick that sort. And when I hit continue, it will do that. It'll sort it and give me my view and subset as I had them set. Under the menus, I have Customize, and in this Customize, there's Query. That's the same as hitting the grid settings. So that pops up again. I can also do Current, which gives me all of the various views, subsets, and cards and everything that is currently in use in what you're seeing on the screen. I can work with workspaces, create and maintain. I can create, maintain views, subsets, sorts, cards, card files, and I can set preferences. And the global preferences are the same as what you saw a minute ago on the main application screen. And you can get there from here as well. The display menu and maintain menu is I can display other either the details for this card or this business object or related business objects. I can get all the various menus for them as well. The little netlink, the little window with, I guess, kind of looks like an X in the corner, that tells it to actually open the window in a new window instead of in the same web screen window. So instead of switching your browser from warehouse locations to details, it'll actually open it up on another tab. So you can have both tabs open at the same time. Maintain, similar thing. You can do any maintain options you have, any transactions you have, and then any transactions for related business objects as well. User is any user created um, actions that you have added to the toolbar will also show here under user. Navigation, and this is handy to know, is you can get a client link request or a system link request. And that will be for whatever query you have over here. So it'll basically be the system link that when I run that system link gives me the view, subset, and sort, and gives me this data that I've selected. The little filter button underneath the grid is, you can tell it to run a filter based on what you've put in the filter row or to clear it. It's just handy to know. Your toolbar goes across, and generally your first set of icons are just default icons that are there for attachments and locate and details. And then you have your transactional ones, which are like create, change, quick change, delete, and copy. And then you'll have any user business object transactions that you created. And then you'll start to see related objects to display. The little arrows move the toolbar right and left. It's pretty obvious. And the little gear here will actually change your view to have what we call the split screen. And you can do this in Netlink. You cannot do this in PowerLink. So I can click on a record and it will update as I go down and show the underlying card file that I have set. We can change the card file as we go. You can also do a longer list of what you want to see here. I can select a different one, and as I move down, it'll keep them here. And again, if I want that to go away, I just click that gear again, and it goes by. Okay, so those are a couple handy things to know. You also can drag your columns around. If you get right in between them, you get your little move left and right. You can resize your columns. Each one of these little letters in front of the filter boxes, if you click that, it gives you your list of operands that you can do. If it's something that's a yes, no Boolean, you can get either selected, not select. You can also, I will move myself back over, under File, you can refresh your view. Now, mind you, hitting the refresh on the browser window does not refresh the data within the Netlink window, so you actually have to hit refresh. From here, I can calculate my column statistics. I can get to my host print and host jobs. If you have them added to this business object, you could select that. I'm not really sure if anything's there. Okay, this does cycle count, and you can execute, make your selections, hit submit, and it will go run that job on the host system. I can do export, and I can go directly to a spreadsheet to HTML, export to text, or I can do advanced. And advanced, I can actually select if I want to do to what. So I want to go to text, I don't want to go to a file, I want to go to the clipboard. Suppress padding will actually cut down extra spaces and kind of keep your format of what you have already. Not sure what digit grouping is, and delimiter I think would make sense if if you're not on Windows, I guess. Most people are on Windows, so I'm gonna just go with that. And you can tell it to export the selection, or it'll export the whole view and subset. So keep that in mind. It depends on how much data. This gives you the option to export, and you can copy it into Word, Excel, or whatever. Or you can do spreadsheet, and it brings it up in a spreadsheet in Excel. All right. Other things to note is if I go into let's just take views for a second. Um, I have my apply button, which will actually apply the view. I have a create, I have a change if I want to change it, and a delete. And I can also star it to be a favorite or remove it from favorites. Now, why do favorites matter? If I make this one my favorite and I hit continue, when I go to this drop down, it's only going to show me my favorites unless I hit all definitions, and then it's going to bring this window up. And you, of course, can use the tabs to see um, the different, specifically filter out the other ones. So if I go into change here, I have my add my columns here. I don't want to add columns. I just want to maybe change the order. I would like to see default staging location before production line. So here we have plus and minus, or up and down arrows, and I can move the actual attribute up and down the list. So in what order I want it to show from left to right. And I can also see every time I maintain this, I can get information on who did it and when. Where used really doesn't fill into this concept for this. Last time it was used, I can see when I've used it last or someone used it last. And the maintenance history will actually give you greater detail as to what changed. So it's a good thing. This only works in Netlink, by the way. This PowerLink does not track these changes the same way. And while I'm thinking about maintenance, subsets, views, and sorts all in cards and card files, they all have these similar windows, similar up and down arrows. You can do the based on. And you can, the general navigation is the same. Another thing to note here under display is if your business object is marked for maintenance history, you can do the display maintenance history, and it will actually list out any changes that have been made. So that's kind of a general drive around to kind of just give you an idea of some of the features as far as navigating that you can get. You can get the client link request and do a client link simulator from this main browser. Not really sure why you'd want to, but it's always there. Under file on here, you can actually see the history of your export. Any of the file, you can do a status, and you can see the status of anything that's happening transactionally or anything that has maintenance history. When you submit something, you can see it here if it completed, if it failed. And anywhere the little paper with the X on it is always a back, and it will close the extra window that popped up. And this is also, I'm not sure what summary info really does. Okay, summary info just gives you your session information, your product information, and information about what applications are installed. And so, and then you also do your log out there. So just a general drive through Netlink. PowerLink works very similar, except it opens everything up in new windows. And that's pretty much it. Structurally for the IDF, that's kind of how it works. I hope you find this helpful and look forward to bringing you more videos here on how to XA. Thanks for watching. Please click like and subscribe. Thank you.